Hey guys, what is up? Fly here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. There's not going to be any live gameplay. However, over the last year, 2016, I've been making little mental notes, or well, 5 notes in total in my notebook of things that I would like to see change in 2017. Pretty much like a top 5 wish lists of changes for War Thunder in 2017. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Number 1 on my wish list is spawn protection. Bear with me, okay? This might sound silly to some people on the thought of, well, you've already lost the game. The reason why they're spawn camping you is because you have lost foothold of the map or the city or the objective. So you guys should get spawn camped. The enemy team has done their part. They push through everything. This is what you get. And I agree with that. And this is why this is such a challenging implementation to achieve. The big question is, how do you stop spawn camping while also preventing people from sitting in spawn protection? Now, as said before, I don't care if the enemy team steamrolls through my team. They should be allowed to spawn camp and to be able to end the game quickly because they have won it. They've done it. The spawn camping I'm addressing is the player who flanks across the whole entire map, let's say in a Hellcat, gets to the enemy spawn mid-game and is able to take out crucial reinforcements that team would need to reinforce the front lines of the battle. Some of you guys are probably saying, well, he deserved that. He made it across the entire map. Logically, I have to agree with that, but emotionally, absolutely not. It is so boring to counter flanks, those type of flanks, not objective flanks, just flanks for the spawn. Because what you have to do is sit and wait for that tank to make its massive journey across the map to maybe get killed by him or to maybe get 1 kill. And after you've done that, you have to then make your journey into the battle where your team might have lost a foothold because they have been missing that tank that you were using. They needed that bit of armor and bit of firepower to push over the enemies, or they completely steamroll the enemies. So now you don't have any time to get more RP or lions. There's no more tanks to kill. So many people in the community have this idea, actually a very popular idea. However, in my opinion, I don't think it will work too well. The idea is spawn protection, pretty much a way for a spawn camper to get killed by the spawn. So that being a bazooka troop, a fortification with an anti-tank gun, a Pack 40, the list goes on. Just a way to counter the spawn camper from the spawn. And in my opinion, there's too many variables to get that working. One variable is how far is the range of spawn protection projected out into the battlefield, because in some game modes such as battle, the main objective of the game is right next to the spawns. Well, you could say War Thunder needs to change up the game modes to allow for spawn protection. True, but what if you're not even spawn camping and you're in range of the spawn protection to where you're engaging honestly targets that have come out of the spawns, but it's in spawn protection range and you get killed by spawn protection and not by the player? Also, when does spawn protection end? Does it last all game? Does it last half game? Because one of the things that we could see with a spawn that is heavily protected by troops, bazookas, and fortifications is that people will hide in the spawn and prevent the game from ending quicker than it should just because of the spawn protection. So in conclusion to the whole spawn protection debate, my solution, in my opinion, is not only easier, but more fair to the player base. Because even though flankers are sometimes really annoying, in my logical opinion, they have a place in the game. So the solution is kind of 2-part, but one, which isn't the biggest part, one is to change up the spawns a little bit more, that being the spawn is more in a defilade, so it's hard to shoot at long range, or add some more buildings and cover, so when you do spawn, you have some sort of tangible protection in the spawn. Now, the second part is the kicker. This is what I think will make this solution work. And this solution kind of only hits home in Tank RB because that's mostly what I play. I apologize to the other game modes. I just don't play that enough to have that much of an insight. But the solution is that if anyone shoots into the spawn, they are detected on the mini-map for players to engage. Pretty simple, right? Well, sometimes simpler is better because this solution takes out a lot of the guesswork of the whole spawn protection solution of, well, when do the guns engage? How far do they engage? How long do they last in the battle? Will someone hide in the spawn protection? You kind of get my drift of how many variables have to be figured out. And I think my solution isn't only simpler, but more effective, because why would, relying on an AI to help you out you pull your hair out. So if you shoot the spawn, you reveal your position to the whole entire enemy team where they can adjust, find out where you are, if you're sniping far range, if you're close to it. But if you shoot the spawn, the enemy team will know where you're at. So yeah, guys, comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the #1 in the 2017 wish list. Number 2. ATGM, or anti-tank guided missile minimum arming distance. So right now in top tier gameplay, ATGMs have a flippin' field day in any environment the battle takes place. So that being urban, that being curse, they dominate on every mode, or they're able to dominate on every mode. The only thing an ATGM does worse than a tank is shoot slower, or the missile takes more time to get to its target. So the kills aren't that quick. However, it's a mouse controlled, very easy to aim missile. So you would think that there'd be some type of handicap to them, but there's not, absolutely none. So my solution to all ATGMs across the board is to add a minimum arming distance for their missiles. So what that means in simple terms is that the ATGM tanks can't engage at close range below, let's say, 200, 300 meters. So even if they shoot that missile, the warhead won't arm and the missile won't be able to penetrate the tank. Some of you guys might be asking, well, how do I know if I can engage this tank? Because right now in my situation, or my scenario, I'm very close to him, but I don't know if I'm outside the minimum arming distance to where my missile would actually do damage. And the answer to, or the solution to that, is that War Thunder could add a little green or red circle, very small, by the reticle to where it will tell you green, you're outside, or you're good to go for penetration, or the object that you're looking at is too close, and it will give you a red blip. I guess we'll use that. So yeah, I think if this solution is implemented into War Thunder, it will create a nice high tier tank RB meta balance to where conventional tanks can assault an objective without having to worry about a tank that can kill them from across the map with ease, to potentially not have the power to kill them up close and personal. Because it doesn't make sense that the ATGM tanks can do everything a conventional tank can do, but on the other hand, a conventional tank can't do everything that the ATGM tanks can. Next up, number 3 on the wish list. This one's pretty simple and straightforward, but it could bring a lot of balance into War Thunder, and that is tank smoke. And this is primarily for high tier tank gameplay for them to counter ATGMs. And I know a lot of this video has been me trying to nerf ATGMs in the game, but in my honest opinion, they need to be reworked to allow tank or high tier tank RB to be enjoyable again, because right now it's just a missile fight, and both conventional and ATGM tanks can be balanced and coexist together to make the meta fun and enjoyable and challenging, but things have to be reworked. And I think tank smoke is a step in the right direction. Personally, I think every tank at a certain BR should be able to deploy smoke in some form. I know a lot of tanks have gas grenades. The T-54, the T-62 series inject some type of gas into the engine to create smoke, but every tank, just for balance at a certain BR, need to have the option to deploy smoke. Now, one of the things that I fear with smoke is the whole battlefield's just riddled with smoke and you can't see anything. And I think there should be a little limit, maybe a 10-second smoke screen, just deploy it, get in cover, and that's it. Because if you let it go on, historically, or even longer than 10 seconds, it will start doing more harm than good. Now, one thing to think about is, how will we regenerate smoke? Will it be like artillery? Every so many minutes or every so many seconds we get a new call? Or do we get a set number of smoke packages to deploy in game? So that's one thing to think about, but tank smoke definitely needs to come now. Now for the final two for my top 5 wish list for 2017. They kind of combine together, but I'll start with the first one. Rework of the medal system. I can't tell you how unmeaningful, how many, and how unappreciative I am for the medals in this game. There's so many medals that you earn from a decent battle that the medals you earn, at least in my opinion, seem meaningless. It's just like you're playing a sport when you're little and you lose, but you still get a trophy to make yourself feel bad. Or another comparison is an inflation of medals to where even though you have $100, a loaf of bread costs $1 billion. So that medal or that $100 has absolutely no worth at all to you. So what I'm asking is for War Thunder to redo the medal system, so when you actually achieve something kind of cool, it's worth it and not just another billion other medals you earn a game. And this kind of plays on to my number 5 is rewards for doing well in the game. So for an example, a medal you might earn from the reworked medal system is a double ace. What that means is that you get 10 kills in tank RB without dying. So what that means is that you don't have to be 10-0. You could be 11-2, but on one of those spawns, you would have needed to achieve 10 kills in 0 deaths. So once that's achieved, boom, the medal flashes on screen all badass and stuff, and you start cheering and yelling for your mother to grab the camera because you actually achieved a medal in War Thunder worth something, not only by reward, but also for your collection of medals and accolades into your personal file. So you can start showing off how many double aces you have achieved in War Thunder instead of showing 4 million one-shots that you have gotten in War Thunder that everybody has, but not everyone can achieve the double ace. So the medal has some worth there. And that brings me to my point number 5, or number 5 on the top 5 things, is rewards for doing well. Now in War Thunder, the medals do reward you, but I think War Thunder should do it a different way. People like to show off how good they are. In life, in video games, in the bed, whatever. They want to show off. And so a double ace reward, I'm just using that for an example, will yield you a special emblem or decal you can put on your tank that it might last 10 battles, it might last 20, I don't know, it might only last 2. But in those games where that double ace emblem or decal is on the tank, it will grant you 50% more RP that game, 100% more RP, 25% more lions, something like that. But don't make it RNG. Have that medal worth what it is. Don't have it so you earn the medal and you spin a little dial and that's what you get. Make that medal worth something static. Just so if you earn this medal, this is the reward you're going to get. I think that would be awesome. Not only do you get rewarded for doing well, but you're able to show off to your entire team and to the entire enemies that you got this reward. You got this double ace some games ago and you're reaping the benefits now. And that's going to do it for my top 5 2017 wish list for War Thunder. Just to recap, number 1 on the list was spawn spotting. Pretty much if you shoot the spawn, you get spotted. Number 2 is ATGM minimum arm distance, just so the ATGMs can't go into the objectives and act like a conventional tank. Number 3 is tank smoke, just so you can deploy some smoke to get away from those long range ATGMs and make yourself invisible for a little bit of time. Number 4 is the rework of the medal system, so you don't get spammed by all the medals, and the medals you earn they actually feel like personal achievements and not a handout to everyone, or like everyone gets a medal or everyone gets a trophy. And number 5, rewards for doing well. Now I know medals, I said before, give you RP and lions, but this way you still get RP and lions for your performance the next game, but also you're able to show it off as well. And that's going to be it, guys. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your feedback in the comments below. Any other solutions that you might see fit for discussion, please feel free. Guys, have a great day. Until next time, peace out.